stimulus check, and there's a ton of information happening in Congress and many developments are occurring about the fourth stimulus check, so you want to be sure to stay until the end of the video. Now folks, an increase for Social Security recipients is going to be going out very soon, and millions of Americans are going to be receiving a $100 boost in the monthly stimulus checks. Now let's not forget that according to the SSA, in 2021, the average monthly Social Security benefit came out to around $1,565. But the good news is that after a 5.9% cost of living adjustment scheduled to go into effect next year, the average benefit will rise to about $1,657. This means that the average couple could see roughly $3,000 a month. Now the roughly $100 increase comes after a year of unprecedented inflation. Over the past 12 months actually, prices have increased 6% in nearly all major sectors. And that's especially important for seniors, everybody, in every major grocery store category. COLA increases in the past couple of years have been around 1 to about 1.3%. And this year's adjustment is one of the highest COLA jumps in decades. So folks, what do you think about President Biden? Is he doing enough to counter inflation and help out our seniors with more stimulus payments? Tell me what you think in the comments. So guys, Forbes estimates that the increase in benefits will benefit nearly 62 million Americans who received the Social Security benefits in January 2022. Americans who receive supplemental security income benefits will actually be able to see their increases a little sooner. That's beginning on December 30th. The SSA announced that increased payments to SSI beneficiaries are going to reach approximately 8 million people next year. So that's pretty good. For those who receive SSI though, here's what I want you to know. The amount is expected to increase to $821 in 2022. That's up from $794 per month in 2021, and that's according to my research. And according to multiple sources that I found. The $47 increase will especially benefit nearly 3 million people, 3 million Americans, who receive both Social Security and the SSI benefits together. But if you receive both SSI and regular Social Security payments in 2022, this can mean nearly $2,500 per month. If you are scheduled to be a recipient of benefits in 2022, the SSA will notify you via mail and online this month. The Senior Citizens League is actually one of the largest nonpartisan senior citizen advocacy groups, and they're trying to get support and more attention for emergency $1,400 stimulus checks. Among the arguments, everybody, in the petition is that the COLA increases are not suitable enough for seniors living on a fixed income with the 5% inflation surge experienced over the past 13 months. But this petition also adds that in 2021, Social Security benefits increased by just 1.3%. Now, that's about 86% of Social Security recipients surveyed said that their expenses increased by much more than that amount. One of the sectors that has experienced the greatest increase in prices is actually the meat industry. Although overall inflation has come in around 5% for many types of food, according to Snap Research, a $1,400 check could definitely help seniors afford groceries, and roughly 25% of low-income seniors reported food insecurity. So we can see that it's definitely necessary that President Biden, the Democrats, and Republicans do something about inflation and send out more stimulus payments. In fact, now lawmakers are making progress on the Biden's Build Back Better bill. According to the Washington Post, Joe Manchin officially told the White House that he supported imposing some sort of wealth tax on billionaires, despite criticizing the idea 2 months ago. And 3 people familiar with the discussions reported that Manchin said he would support like a tax as part of President Biden's Build Back Better economic program. And Biden is currently trying to count Manchin's support for his flagship economic package. Now, Manchin told Fox News Sunday that he cannot vote for the current $2 trillion version of the agenda and is putting its future in doubt, as the bill needs unanimous support from Democratic senators in order to pass. That is true, folks. Manchin instead made Biden a $1.8 trillion counteroffer, which excluded several key components like the multi-child tax credit to families. But it did lay out his support for a wealth tax. This move is a U-turn for Manchin, who has made his opposition to a wealth tax known in the past. Now, all 50 members of the Republican Party in the Senate are actually opposed to the economic package, so Biden's going to need all 50 Democratic senators in order for this bill to pass. Hopefully, President Biden can get the job done and send out more stimulus checks as soon as possible.
Hello, and thanks very much for being with me. What I want to do is take a moment to explain the kind of confusing budgetary situation that's taking place in Washington right now. I know you're hearing a lot about it. As chairman of the Budget Committee, let me try to explain to you what we are trying to do and how it's going. For a start, you're ready to get confused because here it goes. For a start, we got a so-called bipartisan infrastructure bill. And that's Democrats and Republicans working together on what we would call traditional infrastructure. That's roads and bridges, it's broadband, it's water, and other types of programs like that. I think the programs themselves, what they are trying to fund, is good, and it amounts to some $570 billion. But its weakness is how it funds those programs. I have some questions about that. Anyhow, that is the bipartisan infrastructure bill, $570 billion for roads, bridges, etc. What I am working on as chairman of the Budget Committee is what is called reconciliation. And you say, what is reconciliation? Well, bottom line is reconciliation is an approach under Senate rules that we can use, Democrats can use, with 50 votes plus the vice president to pass significant legislation. And the reason we have to go that route is my Republican colleagues are not interested in addressing the issues facing working families. We will not get one Republican out of 50 to support what we're doing. So we have to go the route of reconciliation. Problem there is you don't have the freedom to do everything that you want. In reconciliation, you're kind of hidebound by various types of rules called Byrd rules, after Senator Byrd. All right. Bottom line here is, what are we trying to accomplish in the bill? I think we can look at it in three ways. This is a $3.5 trillion proposal, which added to the $600 billion, almost $600 billion bipartisan bill, brings you up to about $4.1 trillion, which is somewhere in the vicinity of what President Biden wanted. It is much less than what I have fought for. I wanted $6 trillion, which I think is the appropriate number, but hey, I've got one vote, and there are 49 other Democrats, and many of them did not agree with that number. So we are where we are. Now, what is in this $3.5 trillion budget? Well, for a start, look at it in three different ways. Number one, at a time of massive income and wealth inequality, and at a time when billionaires like Jeff Bezos and others and large profitable corporations are not paying a nickel in a given year in federal taxes, what this bill does say to the wealthiest people in our country and the largest corporations,